Hey everybody, Dave here from Cherez Studios. Today's video I wanted to share with you a few different things. First off, I have a little bit of when I set up the greenhouse a couple days ago, and then transplanting some tomatoes from mason jars into buckets, tomato pruning, pepper pruning, how to get about 4 times as much peppers out of one plant, and also how does the grow pipe stand up in 20-degree weather and below, because we had a couple of nights really cold. So I have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I'm just going to show you guys what I got going on in the greenhouse. And right now I'm moving most of my stuff in and out of the greenhouse because it's so cold. But I'm leaving some of the cabbage family and cold crops out here, and I'll explain more about that as we get into the video. Hey everybody, gonna set up the greenhouse, and we'll show you around inside once we get it all done. Okay. Uh-oh guys, we put it on backwards. We got the tie downs that are supposed to tie to the bars on the outside. So, my bad. Got to do it again. Okay guys, so I got the greenhouse, the cover on the right way, and we're bringing in some tomato plants. I got a couple tomato plants there. Those are in the half-gallon jar, and I'm going to get some buckets ready and transfer some of those from the half-gallon jar into the 5-gallon buckets. Okay guys, so I'm getting my my buckets ready to transplant my tomato plants in, and I'm mixing the master blend. And what I like to do is put a little warm water in a small cup or container. I have just a container here, a yogurt container, and I filled it with warm water, and then I mix my 2 teaspoons calcium nitrate, mix that in, and 2 teaspoons master blend, mix that in, and then 2 teaspoons Epsom salt, and mix that in. And then basically I'm going to pour that into my bucket. And now I'll take my hose and I'm going to fill it right up to this line. You'll see a line where the top of this ridge is right here, right there. So I'm going to transplant one of my tomatoes, this guy right here, into the bucket. And I've showed some of you guys who watch the channel know how to do this. Seen me do this before. Well, basically, so I'm a few inches lower than I got about 4 inches below the rim of the bucket there. Put your lid on. I like to snap it down. I may have to carry this bucket in and out because of the, it may be too cold out here for it. But this is how simple it is, guys. And now I'm just going to put a tomato cage around this. I've got a folding wire cage, and I'll put that around it. So there it is, guys. It's all in the cage, and I do them all that way. I have all the ones in jars now will go into the buckets, and then the jars I have new plants inside that are seedlings that'll go into the jars. And I like to do it that way. I do about a 3 or 4 week in between starting them, so I have time to get some into buckets and then get the next small ones into the jars. And that also kind of has the harvest a little bit staggered, so I don't get too many all at once. So last night it was 20 degrees or lower, and when I came out this morning the kale was not looking too good, and I didn't have my camera with me, so I'm just coming back out now. It's like an hour later, and I stuck my finger in this grow pipe, and there was definitely some ice formed in there, and I had to break through it with my finger a little bit. So we definitely had some ice in the pipe, and the kale looks like it looks better now. It was kind of wilted before, so it looks like it is going to be okay. I was a little worried about when I saw it this morning because it was kind of wilted even more than it is now. Peas were fine. There was no ice on the buckets, and I guess that's because there was more mass of the liquid, so they were able to hold the temperature better than the pipes. But anyway, so just wanted to let you guys know that kale is safe in the grow pipe. Peas are safe in a grow pipe, even down to 20 degrees in a shelter. I have them in the greenhouse here, but even with some freezing, it seemed to survive. Okay guys, so I've got these little baby red cabbages in this little container with clay pebbles. It's got a little bit of algae growing in there. You can't see it too much, but a little tinge of green there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to plant one of these out by just pulling it out of here. I'm going to wash it off a little to try to get any of the algae off, and then I'll put it in a net cup with some clay pebbles and drop that into a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, so I've got my little cabbage baby, and the roots are nice and clean. So basically I'm just going to hold it in there. I'm going to try to keep it in the middle of the cup, and then I'm going to add my clay pebbles. And I always rinse my clay pebbles before I use them because they can be have some dust on them. And that's it. Now I'm just gonna I'm not gonna worry about it being floppy and stuff. It's gonna grow its roots and get established. I'm just gonna drop this into my 5-gallon bucket and make sure that my liquid is up in here somewhere. So we want our bucket quite full this time. It's different when you do it with the peat pellets. You can have it lower, but I'll take you guys out in the greenhouse and we'll plant that up in a minute. Okay guys, so I'm out in the greenhouse. Here's my little baby red cabbage. I have my 5-gallon bucket, and that's full with master blend. That's where I fill it to when I make my master blend. And like I say, it's okay to transfer them from MaxiGrow into Master Blend. And it's okay if they're a little floppy like that. That guy it'll pick right up. It's going to be out here on a nice sunny day, so it'll do fine. And that's all you got to do. I'll show you what else I got going here. Okay guys, so I'm going to plant another one of these red cabbages a different way. I just put a 1/2-inch hole in the lid, and I made some slits like I did in the coffee can lid for the other ones. But this one I'm going to leave in here for its whole life. I'm going to grow it out this way. And I'm quite certain, because of growing in the grow pipe with the kale, had stems on it like this, even though it only had a hole that size. And the kale did very well. So I'm thinking that this cabbage will push these slots open as it grows, and it won't have any trouble. And that eliminates any need for media or net cups or anything. And so we'll try it this way, see what happens. I think it's going to work fine. And it's nice to not have to need the clay pebbles or the media or anything. Now I could use something to, I could put a little stick in there or something to hold it up, but it's going to curve itself upright and take care of itself. So I probably won't bother, but I might. Anyway guys, the other thing I wanted to show you is how I'm going to prune this pepper plant. So let's go take a look at that. I have 2 of these bell peppers, and I have some other varieties too, and I'll be starting some more. But I'm going to prune this one. That one is a little bit bigger and kind of has buds on it already. So this one, so basically you just can cut it like at any one of these growth nodes. I'm going to cut it at this one right here and cut that whole top off, and that'll cause it to branch out for you. You can also try to root this if you wanted to, the part that you cut off, and clone it into another pepper plant. So I got everything out here today. Here's my this is called an Egyptian onion or a walking onion, because the onions are going to come out up here, not on the ground. We have some sage here. We have the pepper plant, and here's the pepper plant that I trimmed the other day with you guys in the earlier part of the video. And that part that I cut off, I just stuck in here, and I'll root that up, and I'll have another pepper plant. So cutting it in half will help you get more peppers off this plant, and then plus you take the top and you plant it, get it rooted up in here, and then you can plant it in a net cup. So you get 2 pepper plants for 1, plus this one will be more productive. So that's how I figured you could get like 3 times as many peppers out of 1 plant. So this is what's on the table. A bunch of varieties of tomatoes in various stages of growth. And there's the peas. I got to put up, I'm going to put up some kind of mesh. I have some deer mesh that goes over the bushes. I may just put a piece of that in this frame for the peas to grow on. And not too much else. You guys saw the cabbages and stuff over here. Here's my, and there's the cabbage that's just in the little hole. So they survived the at least 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It was a little warmer in the greenhouse, but not much, because the pipe did have some ice in it. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope you're all doing well. And take care, everybody. I'll see you next time. Happy growing. Bye-bye.